Okay, open enrollment season is here, meaning Americans covered by health insurance from their employer. Around half of the country's population can choose the plan that's right for them next year. And an ever-expanding menu of options and confusing terminology can make it a daunting task to decide what's best for you. So here to help us understand and compare the options is Dan Geltrude, managing partner at Geltrude & Company, a full-service public accounting firm. Dan, it's great to see you. And this is a pretty big time for a lot of Americans. Obviously, health is wealth. And so are there big changes coming to the plans for 2023? What do we know?
Well, I think that everyone across the board can expect to pay more for their health insurance. How about that? No surprise. Certainly inflation impacting everything across the board. But as it pertains to health coverage, what we do know is medical costs are getting more and more expensive. So ultimately, that translates into what happens with the premiums that we're going to be paying. So I think a lot of people out there that are signing up now in the open enrollment period, which started on today, November 1st, there's going to be more expenses here.
Yeah, I think we even saw that in the consumer price index that we saw recently, just how dramatically healthcare costs have risen from the same time a year ago, up double digits. So let's break down some of the options, Dan. Obviously, people are going to try their best to decide what's best for them, for their health and for their budgets as well. We've got plans like HMO, PPO. What do consumers need to know?
Well, when it comes to your health care coverage and what plan you choose, the whole thing that makes this difficult is it's not one size fits all. So what are you going to do? Well, you have to pick the plan that obviously fits best for you. Now, how do you do that? Well, it depends on your age, your health, how often you go to the doctor, and what type of expenses that you think you're going to be incurring. Obviously, people who are younger generally are going to spend less, and people who are older are going to end up spending more. So you got to match up those plans. So people talk about PPO, which is the preferred provider organization plan. Well, that is a little bit more expensive. Why? Because that allows you to go out of network, right? Everybody talks about in network, out of network. Can I go out of network? Well, the PPO allows you to go out of network. Now, the HMO, which is Health Maintenance Organization, that is less expensive. Why? You guessed it. Because you have to stay within the network, meaning you choose the doctors and the healthcare providers that they tell you choose from. So it's not a case where you go out and get, let's say, the person you prefer. You pick from their list of options. Therefore, you pay less.
Okay, so Dan, here's another question for you. HSA and FSA, these actually can save you a lot of pre-tax dollars, right?
Yeah, I mean, the whole point here is that you use pre-tax dollars that you would set aside. So the HSA, which is the Health Savings Account, look at it this way. This is where you actually invest those funds. An individual for 2023 can put aside $3,850, right? And that gets invested and you hold on to that. And people use that primarily when they're in high deductible plans. So what they do is they take that money and they use it to offset medical costs. Now, the flexible spending account, which is the FSA, which is limited to $3,050, that's used for qualified medical expenses, yes, but you don't have the opportunity to roll that over. It's actually limited to the most of $550 to keep that going. So that's kind of one of those use it or lose it type things. So again, you got to look at what fits you best.
And take care of yourself. I think that's good advice, too. That'll save you money in the long term.
Yes, it will.
Dan Geltrude, managing partner at financial consulting firm at Geltrude & Company. Dan, thank you.